I had my fun with Albert Breer earlier on the show. As you know, I'm a Michigan guy and he's an Ohio State guy. I told him next time he comes on, he's going to have to sign the Rich Eisen Show pledge. That we're not looking at it as a waiver; it's a pledge. His retort was, before I answer, you should make sure that there's no liability concerns, equal liability concerns in your own house. So I don't know. Is that going to be standard across the landscape for players to return? Pat, what's this all about?
Well, it wouldn't shock me if there's a lot of schools. Some other schools are doing it, yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me if a bunch more decide, by July 1st, hey, we better have these pledges up and running, and call them pledges, even though they're clearly something more than that. I am sure athletic directors, university presidents, and their legal counsel are all on eggshells saying we are possibly walking into, a liability firestorm here if bringing back athletes doesn't go right. They're the canaries in the coal mine on this before the general student population returns. Most of them are basically feeling beholden to come back as opposed to being invited to come back, even though that's the wording on this, and this is all quote-unquote voluntary, but we know how that works. And so I think that they're going to look to protect themselves in whatever form or fashion they can with, whether it's waivers or other signed documents, just to somewhat shift some of the burden onto the athletes and off of the school if things do not go well.
So what do you think happens here, Pat? The University of Houston had a bit of an outbreak and then shut things down. I spoke to Brian Kelly about a month ago, and he said that, that they're going to put health and protocol issues in front of parents to let folks know what's going on, and he still didn't even know. That was about a month ago. I mean, what do you have for me? Do you think on whether this is a go and everybody's going to, Michigan's actually, just to use my alma mater as an example, is going to get on a plane and do open the season on time, maybe with no fans in the stands at Washington, but that's actually going to happen? Like a Big Ten at Pac-12 contest is going to happen on time and all that? You think that's the case right now?
I don't know.
Right.
This thing has wavered back and forth a couple of times, Rich. In late April, first half of May, we were like, there is no way football season's starting on time. And then all of a sudden, things started to look a little better from a national health outlook, and people started talking a much more optimistic game. And then it was like, yeah, we're going to have players on campus, and now we are having players on campus. But we're also seeing a lot of positive tests. We had our first game canceled today, an HBCU game that's been played between Tennessee State and Jackson State in Memphis for the last 30 years. They're canceling that game scheduled for September 12th out of what they said was COVID-19 concerns and problems. Number of positive cases is increasing in a lot of areas. We'll see if there's a corresponding increase in hospitalizations and in deaths. But I just think that as this thing has ebbed and flowed, it's been really hard to have a definitive answer. I think we will play on time. I think there will be little to no fans in attendance. But even then, I still think if even if things are full system go by July 1st, August 1st could tell a different story. September 1st could tell a different one as well.